Ayun po. Okay, so ito po yung ano na. Ah, wait lang po. I-pause ko muna. Okay, yun po. So, ito bali na. Mm, 4 out of 7. Okay, must win the series of 7. Tapos may probability. Okay, what's the probability daw the Bulls will win the entire series? So, okay, quantify ko na po. Okay, so
Okay.
actually ginawa ko po muna yung easy way pero just to make sure ginawa ko po yung every single situation. So yung basic na idea po. So i-split ko siya into four wait. Ah, yes. Four scenarios po na. So yung una
Mm.
masasweep yung Jazz 4-0. Next, 4-1,
Mhm.
4-2, tsaka finally 4-3 na scenarios.
Okay.
So based on yung ano po, yung so there must be one lang po yung sweep. Tapos on four yung ano. So nung nakita ko na po to four, inisip ko na siya paano kaya makukuha ko yung number kasi apparently nung ginawa ko rin manually, there are a lot of possibilities. So hindi ko siya ma-explain. So bale, yung ano pa, yung, the thing is, pag umabot na po kasi na 4, wala na pong next game po, diba? Parang dito po, pag
Mm-mm.
umabot na po na 4 Bulls wins, wala nang game 7. So,
Right.
every single time, hindi ever po aabot na Jazz win yung last. So, as you can see po, Bulls lagi po yung last. Kumbaga. So, pwede ko na siya ma-quantify kung ganon. Let's say, ignore ko po tong last game, which must always be a Bulls win. Kasi otherwise, uh, nanalo na po yung Bulls. So,
True.
yung ano po, there must be one Jazz in, ito po, there are four columns ng ano. So, there must be three Bulls wins and one Jazz win. So, in total, four columns dapat po. There must be four games maximum.
Mm-mm.
So, what is the number of ways you can arrange one Jazz? Kumaga sa four spaces na po to. Isipin niyo po kung wala siguro ng Bulls. So, four choose one. Kasi there's
Nice.
one, tapos so four columns, so four choose one. Four, yung ano po. Tapos of course, yung probability dito is sweep, 0.55 times 0.55. So,
Mm-hmm.
0.55 to the fourth power. Tapos yun ito, an event na 0.55, it happened four times, so to the fourth, times an event that could happen only 0.45, which is a Jazz win. So, ito na po yung ano. So,
Correct.
similar reasoning sa next. Sa 4-2, there must be six games, pero ignore po yung last game kasi it must be a Bulls win. So, think about the number of possibilities, the combinations where order does not matter. I think yes. Opo na.
Mm-hmm.
So kasi wala naman ano. So in five columns kasi five games yung parang umabot ng 3-2.
Yes.
So J, and any combination. So that must be five choose two. Kasi
Yes.
two Jazz wins in five columns or five games. So 10 times this. And then finally for yung last scenario boss, 4-3 win. Of course, so game 7 yung last. Ignore po yan. So 6. So 6 games, 3. So there must be 6 choose 3 or 20 na possible 4-3 games. So 0.55 to the 4 times 0.45 to the 0.45 cube. Tapos i-add lang po lahat ng possibilities na yan kasi kung ito po yung probability na 4-0 tapos isang probability po na 4-1, another probability na 4-2 po, tapos finally 4-3. So that's the all possibilities na for something. So they must win po. So this is the total probability which is around this mga 0.60. So mga 60.8. Tsaka nung ginawa ko, inisip ko po baka medyo mali kung may mali. I would write down everything anyway. So, ito po lahat ng scenarios. So, medyo hindi po maayos actually yung pag ano. Pero in-exhaust ko po, I made sure na ma-exhaust lahat. So, ito po lahat yung ano. So anyway, ito po yung ano. So, inisip ko paano kaya sa Python. I have no idea how to possibly do this in Python kasi wala pong built-in na function. Pero nakita ko po sa R, meron pa ng built-in na binomial distribution po.
Mm.
So, let's say po yung ano for the W, which is the win probability, in this case 0.55 po. Uh and then K be the number I want to attain. So kumaga, let's say ignore po yung pagiging game of 7.
Mm.
So four wins, I just need to attain 4 wins and then it will be fine. So bali what this function does po is uh let's say kung three or less Jazz wins, and then the Bulls will win four straight, kumbaga po. So that would be practical equivalent to how the probability of the Bulls winning for something anyway po. Kasi hindi ever lalagpas sa four yung Jazz. So bale for 0.55 and 4, I got the exact same result. So
Yes.
0.6082878. So, bali yun po. Yun po yung solution.
Okay. Actually, yung ginawa mo sa code mo yun, it's the negative binomial.
Opo,
Yung ginamit mo.
negative
Yung
po.
PN binom. So that's the negative N ay yung ginamit. That's correct. Actually, mas maganda ang ano mo explanation mo yung pinaisa-isa mo. Actually, I just realized it right now na yung sinabi mong last column that it is always expected ng Bulls, it's always winning. So hindi na natin yung bibilangin. So the rest, bibilangin natin those nga, di ba, expected out of the 6 games, tatlo doon, tatlo doon papanalunin ng ng Bulls. So what will be the all of the combinations you will have? Maganda yung pagkakaano, actually maganda yung the way you were able to explain them, which is much better sa akin. So pero your solution and my solution, it's the same, except the way you explain it's much better. I understand how the negative binomial works as a transition from the binomial. Kasi the way you are thinking right now, it's binomial to. So meaning, what you are counting, it's probability of successes of winning 4 games, 5 games, and so on. Pero ang pagbibilang mo ng combination of the Jazz and the Bulls to win together, yun ang maganda actually in the way you are illustrating it. Ganda, actually galing. And then plus, kinumpute mo pa ang solution, lahat-lahat. Okay, that's good. Galing.
Medyo surprising po na medyo mababa po yung in total. Kung 55% slightly mananalo, naging
Oo.
50.8 lang. And actually, in-expect ko po mga 70, pero mababa lang pala po.
Pero given that it's 0.55 na in the very beginning, so meaning may competitive advantage na yung Bulls to begin with. 'Di ba usually if it's below 50%, I don't know if you will be simulating all possible percentages, meaning for gagawin mo random variable yung probability, tapos paglalaroan mo kung anong best chances of winning at least by how much percentage. Although we know hindi naman yan totoo palagi, pero at least kung co-compute mo palagi, if it's most of the time 55%, more often one of the team will be winning. So may 60.8% chance of winning, all in all for all of the games that they will be encountering.
Wow. Okay.
Oo, maganda. Actually, maganda yung nagugustuhan ko ang explanation mo eh. Kasi paano to i-connect? Kasi ito yung problem ko nung ginawa namin tong problem. Sabi, paano siya i-connect with a binomial point of view to a negative binomial point of view? Yun pala kasi hindi mo na bibilangin ang last column. Kasi expect mo na talaga mananalo siya dapat doon. So meaning, ang chances na lang, ilang beses siya mananalo before the last game na expected siya
Isip ko nga
mananalo.
po baka medyo mali po. Yung una ko po, isip ko, how do I count kung the Bulls are winning? Kasi there are four of them, identical po. Tapos there are, let's say dito po, may 6 columns. How do I find the number po nun? It turned out pala po, I should count the Jazz. Kasi kumbaga mas madali po
Mm.
yun.
Tama. Etong intuitive way of solving, meaning you don't think of the formula first. All you have to do is to think, oh, paano possible combination nito, tapos ano yung, kasi common way, ang common na ginagawa is, oh, anong formula? Paano to siya solve? So, ginawa mo is you intuitively think of the problem first, anong probability of winning, at how many times, anong possible combinations to happen. So, ayun, that's good. That's good. Kasi kung i-google mo tong problem, hindi to mahahanap eh. So,
saan po to, sir, na itong problem na to?
sa ano to? Sa recently na Philippine Stat Quiz. That was the regional finals
Ah,
noong November 8. So was one of the difficult question that was asked
for all,
na
mga senior, ano po yan? Senior high school or
mga first year college.
first year college po?
First year college siya. Tinignan yung curriculum nila nung high school, can they answer certain problems. Pero actually itong type ng problem ito normally hindi naman to binibigay sa high school. So pang-contest talaga to na problem.
Opo.
And then tapos yung mga professors, may dalang professor kasi from UP Visayas. Nagtataka paano to i-solve? Kahit nga kami kini-question namin yung solution eh. And then I believe hindi siya kaya in 2 minutes kasi binigyan lang sila ng 2 minutes to answer this problem.
Ayun
Ay,
po.
So how
grabe.
long did you solve this
Ako lang po,
problem?
alam, just to get the basic idea po, yung logical step to count the jazz po, parang mga 1 hour siguro po. Naisip.
Anong pag-iisip ng
Aba,
pagbibilang kung
to,
anong
to get
possible
to
combination?
get the idea of using the jazz po.
Pero given that na wala kang training sa probability, which is still which is still quicker even with an average math major students in college, hindi yan madali kahit 1 hour to solve this problem. That's good, that's good. Maganda yung tuition mo na binigay sa problem. Just keep it up.
Aba, thank you.
Okay?
Aba,
So, yun. Any questions? So far, two ways of solving it. Pinakita mo one, it's the way it's counted. Second, gumamit ka na ng program because of the formula na meron sa negative binomial.
aba.
Okay. So, kung wala ng question, let's proceed.
Meron ba po kayong solution?
The same lang sa'yo. Ipapakita ko ang solution na to. Let me share it on my screen. Sana ba yung ano ko? And share. Saya. Ito yun, no? Pareho lang tayo actually. Ito yun siya. Allow, Zoom is requesting bypass system private window. Allow. So ito yun, pareho lang tayo. The first, kakount mo lang kung ilan yung isa. That's only one. Second, ikakount mo kung, ito, kinount ko pa nga pating win sa huli. Tapos everything one loss, then tatlong wins each. Tapos ito yung I think this is the 10 ways. Hindi ko na-count yung 20 kasi marami na siya. So kaya
Ako
sabi
lang
ko
po, parang, ako lang po,
idat ko na lang.
umabot po ako ng 11 sa una, tapos parang it doesn't make sense. So, inatin, okay, nahanap ko po. Tapos yung next 17 yata, o tapos umabot ng 23. So,
Ah,
dami pong debugging sa ano po, just to write down the ano po. To
kasi
write,
gumamit ka ng I know sa Python may sa SciPy ba? I think merong statistical package yun sa negative binomial. Hindi mo yun na-try?
hindi po, kasi hindi Python is very modular. Yung
Alex,
po parang,
ang R kasi meron ng package na siya for negative binomial.
ano po.
So that's good. At least ginamit mo pa rin ng R.
Pero kaya ba po siya? Kaya ito po mismo.
Kaya sa Python po.
Ito pong to draw the possibilities. I think it would be possible.
Pwede. I-run mo,
Gawa po na kanina
gagawin,
po na.
just run yung 0.55 at 0.45. I-run mo each, tapos i-loop mo lang siya, then store it. Tingnan natin yung anong itsura ng probability as p increases.
Ayan.
Nga ba?
Maganda yan pwede mo i-simulate. I-run mo lang siya. Then graph it lang just to see the distribution.
Wow.
Meaning magiging random variable ang probability of winning. So
Pina, pina,
try mo yan.
Pinapa-Python ko po kasi siya
Nako.
para ano po para sabi niyo po 'di ba pagka in the future gagamitin niyo yung Python.
Yeah, Python, R, ito yung mga palaging ginagamit.
Opo, opo.
That's good. Ito yung second solution. Ito yung gumagamit na ng negative binomial. Kinonect ko na yung dalawa. So, it's still the same. Pareho lang naman siya. As ang ginawa mo yung sa computer program, ito na yun. Ito yung niloop mo. Yung gumalaw is ito, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yan ang gumalaw.
Mm. Tapos may -1 na po na kasi may ano nga po, may extra.
Oo, ang extra. Kaya nga sabi ko, ayan pala ang intuition ng connection ng negative binomial with binomial kasi hindi mo nagagalawin yung last.
No po,
Kaya nung
kasi sigurado po
sinabi
siya
mo,
it must be the
o
last
na hindi
digit.
mo na yun i-count. Tama naman, actually. That's the point na hindi ko naisip, actually.
No po.
Ayun, i-share ko yan sa mga kilala ko. Sabi ko, "Ay, may nakasolve dito, 14 years old pa lang." No? Na ganitong intuition. Okay? So that's it. So this is the solution sa akin naman na part. And
Thank
I
you.
Okay,
use this
okay.
with this
Thank
problem.
you po.
Kasi kung di namin to gagawin, baka hindi kami makatulog afternoon ng ano yan. Asa na yan. Okay, let's proceed with our discussion, last meeting. So ngayon, I think we will talk about, may dalawang inequalities akong gustong pag-uusap. Ano nila, not necessarily pala, parang sige, go through ko lang to, ang dalawang inequalities. Pero parang wala siya masyadong connection sa gagawin natin susunod. But later, it might be useful when there are some concepts that needs to be discussed using these two concepts. So let me add some papers muna. Dadagdag lang ko ng dalawang papers. Okay, so let's begin, Joshua, by discussing about Chebyshev's inequality. So, in particular, dahil gagamit lang ako ng black. Okay, Chebyshev's inequality. Particularly, we will talk about this theorem. Isang theorem lang to na ipoprove natin. Napapansin mo ba, Joshua, na ang probability, it's quite different from the algebra when we try to solve problems.
No po, kasi parang ano po na, algebra is discrete.
Oo. Tapos ito, yung probability, even later, magre-real analysis ka, parang may gumagalaw na sometimes, ay parang mukhang mahirap. Actually, for me, I had difficulty noon when dealing with analysis. This probability class is also analysis. So parang ang hirap siyang i-capture. Like ang algebra, napaka-discrete. You can right away picture it out. You can like imagine and
No po,
how
yung
to solve it.
mga variables, kumbaga, this is the given, blah, 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 blah na. Parang,
Daming concepts na parang it's hard to to picture out. Sige lang, ang binibuild up natin kasi dito, we will be strengthening your intuition on this area. Kung if you find it right now difficult, later kung mababalikan mo to, medyo masasabi, ay, yun lang pala. Parang grade 1. Yun yung concept. Kasi yun ang dati kong parang when I did my PhD, sabi ko I have to really strengthen my analysis background kasi otherwise I might have difficulty in understanding some things, especially kung if you're doing mga mga interdisciplinary work that would require different areas in mathematics. Like I did mathematical physics which require different areas, a combination of geometry, algebra, and analysis. So kailangan kong kailangan kong talagang pag-aralan. So ayun, ngayon, I'm not saying na totally mastered ko na siya, but at least I'm comfortable working with all of these areas. So ito yung ipoprove natin ngayon, which is a quite weird na klaseng inequality. So as long as meron kang non-negative function, bakit meron tayong non-negative function g dito? Because remember, ang random variables natin, it's still a variable, So therefore, you as a variable, you can apply functions on variables para, for example, nag-x squared tayo for variance. Nagsi-square root tayo. Later, when you have random variables that would require manipulation, like taking a square, taking a square root, so anong resulting random variable after doing under such a function? So kaya kailangan natin ng intuition or ng tools to be able to understand them. So in this case, ang atin, i-bridge natin yung probability on the left that this is less than or equal to the expected value on the right divided by k. So yun yung parang it doesn't make sense itong ang inequality na to. But let's consider ng inequality na to ay totoo for every k which is greater than 0. Okay, let's prove this. And marami tong mga application ng Chebyshev na to. Kasi later when you are to consider Chebyshev's ano to, yung tawag yan, mga empirical, mga rules, like empirical rule in statistics, ng kung if you have a bell-shaped curve of distribution, masasabi mo 68% of your sample or data size would fall between one standard deviation from the mean, two standard deviation from the minimum kung if 95% of your data set. Yan yung tinatawag na empirical rule. For the Chebyshevs, meron din yan. And we will be building this up in the future. So for now, let's prove this theorem. So ipo-prove natin. Let's prove this. Okay. Since, let's consider ang function natin na g of x to be greater than or equal to k. So meaning, ang note lang natin dito, note that you have a function of random variable that match to another random variable. So yan ang gusto natin i-assume, where we will assume that x is a continuous random variable. Okay. So let's define an event. Tawagin natin event natin event sub zero, such that this is the collection of samples such that g of x is less than or equal to k. Meaning, ang gusto mo lang ng mga isa-sample, lahat-lahat would satisfy this condition. Okay. So now, ang gagawin natin is we want to compute for the expected value of this random variable. Okay. Since continuous ito, a quick recall lang tayo, Joshua. Naalala mo pa ano yung formula for an expected value of a random variable if it's a continuous distribution?
Yung ano po na, yung, ano say, yung may ano po na, may parang, wait na mo.
Sige, browse through the notes na meron tayo dyan.
Wait na mo. Kasi yung,
Sige, go ahead.
ito na po yung ano, yung document. Document downloads.
So, re-recall lang muna natin ang expected value na formula. For continuous tayo ngayon. So, obvious kung discrete by summation. Pero kung continuous, ano yon?
Discrete. Integral of the random variable times the probability itself.
That's right. So we'll take the integral. Sa ngayon, ang integral natin, let's assume for all real numbers from negative infinity to positive infinity times of the random variable, but our random variable natin dito hindi x, kundi g of x. Ang buo niyan, that's our random variable. But I'll use now the small letter to indicate nag-integrate tayo over x. Tapos, the probability distribution, f of x, tapos dx. Okay? So, sa ngayon, yung nakikita natin dito na, let me use ang red. Remember, this is over r. Yung negative infinity to positive infinity, pwede natin palang palitan to ang notation. Instead from negative infinity to positive infinity, pwede nating isulat as over r. Pwede din yan. Isusulat na, kukunin mo integral sa buong real numbers. And hahatiin natin ito into two. So, dalawang sets of integral. One is, ang dinefine natin kanina na event, ang e sub 0, ito yon ang nasa taas. So let's use that. Tapos of course, kukunin natin yung complement. So, meaning the sum of all of this integral, ang buong real number. So, hahatiin lang natin sa dalawa. So, let me copy the definition which we define for the expectation sa dalawa na to. Okay. So, remember, expectation to ng ng integration. So, question, can you tell me, is this valid to do this? Gagawin ko to. Is greater than or equal to, ito yung matitira. Ayan. Can you tell me, valid ba ang next step na ito?
Hmm. Ah,
Yan.
I
Isip
mean,
mo na.
it could be equal. Yung, so it could be equal, greater than,
Greater than muna tayo.
would
Actually,
it,
equality pwede naman eh. Pwede siya maging equal.
kung
Depende
zero.
kasi sa ano mo, sa K mo na include.
Siguro, yes, maging greater mo.
Okay?
Saka, pwede naman siya maging equal kung zero.
Ang next one na follow-up question dyan, Joshua, are the two sums ba will always be positive, yung mga integrals na yan?
mm,
Kasi kung
no,
negative
hindi po na.
siya, isa sa kanila or both of them are negative, so the greater than will be a problem. Di ba? Kaya pwede siya mag-less than eh. Pwede baliktad. So therefore, our notion, positive baka yung dalawa na yan. So, and I'll tell you, yes, the answer is, ang dalawang sum na yan, positive yung dalawa na to.
No,
But, bakit? So, tingnan mo yung mga conditions sa taas. Ayan.
taas. Kasi, binawa. Paano kaya? If g of x is greater than equal to k, okay.
Kailan ba pwede maging negative ang isang integral?
Mm, yung function is, kung ano po na, hindi naman to definite yata. Definite ba siya?
Hindi naman.
Hindi naman po
Pero
na.
try to look at the function. Ang G
If the
mo, anong
function
klaseng
po is
function?
negative.
Non-negative. Yan. So it's always, hindi siya pwede maging negative. That's one. Pwede
Okay.
yung
So it
zero.
must be all positive po na, lahat.
Tama. The probability is always positive. So therefore, if you take the integral, so it will always be positive no matter what. Pwede siya zero kasi if your G is zero value, so pwede siya maging zero. So that's possible then. So therefore, it's puro positive, pwede zero. So the greater than expression will always be true. Pwede. And pwede siya magiging equal if G is zero. So, pwede din yan. Kasi hindi naman sinabi na positive talagang function, positive definite, but sinabi niya lang non-negative. So, pwede ang function magiging zero. So, the equality here would hold as well. Okay? Nakuha?
Aba.
Alright. So, now next. Remember the condition of your function. Ang condition ng function natin, g of x is greater than or equal to k. So in other words, dito, what we can do for this function is this can be as well greater than or equal to, kasi if you have g of x greater than equal to k, so if you multiply both sides by the probability distribution, tapos take the integration of both sides, dx, tapos dito, greater than or equal to integral of k f of x dx. So hence, pwede natin maisulat that this is the integral of, pwede ko isulat ditong k, pero gusto ko siyang ipapalabas na lang. So k times the integral of f of x dx, pero you're integrating it over e sub 0. Okay? So, but the question is, this is equal to what? Yan.
That is the expected value mo.
Pero wala ka ng random variable. Wala
Ah,
kang random variable diyan.
okay.
So, you're
So,
integrating ng probability at hindi buong real number line. Kasi kung buong real number line yan, 1 na yan. Pero hindi. Nag-i-integrate ka over e sub 0. But ano yung e sub 0 natin? Balik tayo. E sub
ano po?
0 mo is ito.
Okay.
So
So,
therefore, ano yung integral ng probability na yan?
mm, from ano po na? Isang zero.
Ayan. Sige, sige. So maglalagay na ako ng k dito kasi hindi naman mawawalang k na yan eh.
Kung i-integrate lang po yung mismo probability, so, ganun na. Hmm,
Ah,
di ba po 1? Pwede ba?
kung buo,
Kung
lahat.
po na. Kaso nga lang,
Oo. Pero remember, ang e sub 0 mo hindi buong real line. Subset lang yan. Sulat ko dito, this is a subset of the real line. Yan, subset lang siya. Strictly nga siya eh, subset. Yan. Sulat ko dito ang E mo is, sulat ko dito maliit. All of the x's in your sample space such that g of x is less than or equal to k. Greater than or equal to k. Yan. So meaning, nag-integrate ka lang sa buong distribution. Parang ito, let me illustrate it para at least medyo ma-picture out mo. Ito halimbawa ang distribution mo. Okay. Tapos, andito si k. Ito yung random variable g of x mo. So meaning, nag-i-integrate ka lang mula k hanggang buong distribution na yan. So ang question, ano ito ang distribution? Di ba? Probability yan.
Opo.
But the probability, you're talking, so sulat ka para at least, this is the integration from of your g of x greater than or equal to k, sulat ka lang pa ganyan, of f of x dx. But again, sabi natin, probability lang to. This is just the probability of what? Of your random variable na
Ano po? Greater than K?
greater than k.
Okay. Kaya pala.
Yun na. So therefore, ito yun. Isusulat natin dito. Ayan. So this is the probability of your random variable greater than k. At kung idudugtong natin mula dito sa taas hanggang dito sa baba, you will end up with the expected value of g of x is less than or equal to k times the probability of p of x, g of x are greater than or equal to k. So in other words, ito na, yung sa taas, yung gusto natin ipoprove.
Wow.
Yun na.
Yun na mismo ba? Kala ko kung
Yun
ano.
na mismo. Ayan. So we are done. So, ito yung application. Isusulat ko lang yung application pero hindi ko siya i-thoroughly discuss pero I'll give you an idea on that. So, ito yung corollary niya. Parang result parang as an application. The probability of your random variable is between the mean minus the RF standard deviation, tapos the mean plus the RF standard deviation is just greater than or equal to 1 minus 1 minus R squared. Yan ang application niya. So, explain ko muna ito with the what we call empirical distribution. So, ito yung tinatawag na empirical distribution. Let me put this in black. Empirical. Ano nga yung spelling ng empirical? Empirical, yan.
Piligal pala. Aba.
This, notion. Lagay mo notion. Ang assumption is this. You have a distribution. Tapos ang distribution mo parang bell-shaped. Bell ba yan? Itsura yan. Parang ganun. Bell-shaped lang siya.
Aba. Basta
So
mga
yun. And then, we know sa bell-shape, because bell-shape is symmetric, yung mean, median, at ang mode ay nasa gitna. So this x value here, let's call this your mu, your mean value. So this is your variable x. Random variable mo yan. So that's your distribution. So ang question is that how many of the samples or their population that is left and right of that is one standard deviation away from your mean. Ayan. So meaning, ang tinatanong niya, ilan ito lahat-lahat when you take the sample? According to the empirical rule, ang lahat na yan is actually 68%. Okay? So yun, ang ibig niyang sabihin na empirical rule. So, kung if it is two standard deviation away, so meaning, ito yung magpa-plus minus ako ng two standard deviation, say ito yung itsura niya, ito yung itsura niya. So this is two standard deviation away siya from the mean. So the question, so gawin ko tong say green, say green. So the question, ilan to lahat-lahat? Okay? According to empirical rule, that's actually 95% of that. Okay? Tama ba? 95%. Tama. 68, 95, 97 point something. Nalimutan kong isa. Okay? I-search mo lang. Kasi parang nakalimutan ko na siya. So, these are, ito yung tinatawag na parang you're looking at the empirical rule, not notion pala, rule, that you are counting ilang samples do you need for you to, not ilang samples, how many percent of the sample is included by how many standard deviation from the mean. Now, this would, ang empirical rule na to, again, would only work if you have a bell-shaped curve. Okay? Pero what if your distribution is any distribution? Kahit anong distribution siya. Can you have parang that same notion that how many percent of your sample is two standard deviations away from the mean? Ito na yon. Ito yung sasagot niyan. Say for example, again, so what if yung distribution mukhang pangit siya? Say for example, look like this. Hindi curve. Parang gano'n lang, itsura yung nag-distribution. Say yung mean, halimbawa, it's found here. Ito yan, mean. Okay. So the question, if you are to compute, say, two standard deviations away, say, minus 2 standard deviation. So ang R mo dito, 2 standard deviation, plus. So the question, ilang samples do you have? How many percent of the samples do you have? So ang solution dyan is actually 1 minus 1 over 2 squared. So ang R mo dito is equal to 2. So gagamit ka niyan ng formula na yan. So this is just 1 minus 1/4 or approximately in percentage, this is
3/4 po. So 75% po.
75%. So you're talking about 75% of your samples will fall within two standard deviation away from the mean. For any distribution yan. Or any distribution. So yan ang application actually ng Chebyshev's
Wow.
inequality.
So ano ba, so kumaga yung yung average to standard deviation na ba na?
Yes, two standard deviation from the left from the right, ng average mo.
So
And
yun
we'll tell
pala
you how many
ito pa
percent.
yung majority po na. Yung great majority, 75%, is very near, kumbaga po sa mean.
Tama. For example, kung nagsa-survey ka, or you're conducting an experiment, you're taking the sample, and then you were able to compute the mean and the standard deviations. So ang tanong ko, oh, ilang percent pa lang kailangan na was falling within the two standard deviations away. So importante ito, mga ganitong concept. Kasi later, there are some reports. Have you seen, although hindi ko siya ma-explain in toto, pero you can search on this when they are computing for the existence of Higgs boson sa physics.
Opo.
And when it was finally discovered na totoo yun, inawardan si Peter Higgs ng Nobel Prize in Physics. And ang confirmation, ang result nun is they're computing for 5 standard deviations away for a particular mean. So, yun ang kino-compute nila para masasabi mong if it's within that region, masasabi mo ay totoo that it really exists. So, may ganong computation na ginagawa sila. So, which is interesting.
Very, ano pa na, kumbaga it's very, very high confidence na it must exist.
It must exist within that area. So, tingnan mo lang kasi hindi ko naman siya nasubaybayan. Look for it in the internet on how they were able to find the Higgs particle, the Higgs boson particle. Yung parang sinasabing nilang God particle na that completes the standard model of physics. So, yun. Although, in particular, hindi ko rin alam yung actual physics behind it. But it's fascinating. They use statistics to really confirm the existence. So, gumagamit sila ng
Other
ganito.
times po that it fails, kumbaga po, hindi siya 100% po eh. Meron ba pong the off chance na it's wrong?
Yeah, oo. Kasi, di ba, mga physicists, for example, they start with their ideas theoretically. Like even Einstein, when he wrote the paper in 1905. By the way, 1905 was parang the fruitful year ni Einstein na ang dami niyang na-discover doon ng mga theories. One of that, do you know, ito, trivia ko to sa iyo, Joshua. In, bakit nanalo, at what topic nanalo si
Ano po yan?
Einstein ng Nobel Prize niya?
Photoelectric effect mo?
Ayun, wow, galing. Akala ko di mo alam. Yun, kasi marami nagsasabi theory of relativity, di ba? Either
Opo,
the
hindi po
special
siya nagka-Nobel
relativity
po
and the
na.
general relativity. Pero hindi pa yan siya proven at that time eh. Parang they don't have the facility to prove it. So kaya hindi naisip 'yon. Ang naisip kaagad ang photoelectric effect kasi right away may application kaagad. Ngayon mga solar panels natin because of that. So
Opo.
yun, trivia pero parang akong na trivia sa iyo.
Opo.
All right, sige. So that's it for the Chebyshev inequality. May second inequality tayo ipoprove. The second inequality na ipoprove natin is ang tinatawag na Jensen's inequality. Pero iba naman yung application ng Jensen's inequality. So let us prove this. Inequality. Okay. So may concept tayo na we need to define in this inequality. Let x be a random variable. So isusulat ko lang RV. And again, g is a function. Pero at this time, it is a convex function.
Ba't di niyo po ginagamit F? Meron ba po siyang reason?
Wala lang. Sa libro kasi ginagamit ko convenience. G yung ginamit ko. But you can use other letter. But I think because ang isang reason na ginamit dito G para hindi siya ma-confuse sa probability distribution. Di ba gumagamit tayo ng F
Opo.
for the probability distribution? So gagamit tayo ng G as a function on random variable. Yun na lang. Actually, I think ang main reason na.
Opo.
So then,
Siya na po siya.
ito yung Jensen's inequality. Okay. So isulat yun dito. It's greater than or equal to G of E of X. Napansin mo anong ibig sabihin ng Jensen's inequality? So magpa-pass through ba, meaning magbabaliktad ba ang expectation at ang function G So is it equal? But according to the Jensen inequality, may not necessarily be equal. But in general, the expectation of the function is greater than or equal to the function on expectation. So yun yung pagkakaiba ng dalawa. But take note, ang concept natin na we need to understand, anong tinatawag na convex function? So ano ba yung mga function na to? Convex functions.
Siguro they're like that. Parang ganun po. Mount. I don't know.
O yan, tama. In other words, parang bundok. Di ba mayroong tinatawag concave upward, nagko-concave siya,
So
tapos
parang
nagko-concave
there's no concave
downwards.
upward po.
Tara. In literature, although in some books, may mga rare na define nakikita ko ng convex function, it's facing downward. Pero rare yan. More often that they define a convex function, it's opening upward. Pataas yan.
Oh, okay.
Okay? So in general, let me define it naturally on how it is defined in mathematics. Note that a convex function would look like this and defined as follows. Pero not necessarily for all the domain. Pwede lang siya partly a subset. Pwede siya
So,
convex
siguro po,
in.
let's say po yung e to the some exponential or parabola po, would it be convex?
Pwede. Parabola. It's a classic example. Like in this case, ito. This is an example of a parabola. Masasabi mo convex siya kasi if you consider for example, x sub any point, x sub 1 and x sub 2, tapos this is your function g of x. Okay? Tapos, let's consider this line between these 2 points. Some point natin, let's call this x sub 1, g of x sub 1. Tapos, let's call this x sub 2, g of x sub 2. So, for it to be convex, let me define it here. For iparameterize natin yung line from 0 to 1. And let's consider x sub 1 and x sub 2 to be are random variable values. So convex siya if your function under this parameterization 1 minus t to x sub 2 is under the line g of x sub 1 plus 1 minus t g of x sub 2. So meaning, ito yung line natin. This is the line. Below that is your convex value. Ayan. So ito yon ang value na yan. Okay? So para makikita mo convex. Pero not all functions convex. Pwede lang siya convex locally. Say for example, meron kang function that look like this. Yan. So not necessarily convex siya along all of the way, pero siya convex lang siya sa portion na to. Say for example, ditong portion na yan. So convex lang dyan siya. But not necessarily convex between this. Ano ba? Ito, dyan. Not necessarily convex. Okay?
Kasama po yung upper point. Kung po may point na mag-start na siya maging concave downward.
Yan. So ikakat mo lang yung function mo kung hanggang saan lang siya pwede convex. Pwede mo i-define lang doon. Convex lang siya on this domain or in this pre-images.
Pero kasama po yan yung point na zero derivative po or hindi po siya kasama?
That's a good question. Kung kasama siya sa zero derivative, the answer is kasi because of the equality, pwede. Pwede
Oh,
siya kung saan siya nag-zero derivative. Pwede yan. So I think that's the only time na pwede siya maging equal.
nabo.
So parang sinasabi natin, parang dito, no? Parang ganyan. Kung ang
Nabo, yung
dito ang
pinakataas
flat,
po. Kasama po.
tapos dito dalawa yan. Pwede pa. Kasi doon ang part na mag-intersect lang siya on one point. And
Mm,
that point alone.
nabo.
Ayan. Okay. So now we were able to define what convex functions are. So let's prove. Papakita natin, i-show natin totoo to, yung theorem na yan. Okay? So now dito na lang natin susulat ang proof. Okay, proof. Since G is convex on X, So masasabi mo, there exists a tangent line. Papakita ko lang, illustrate ko lang to. Line at A that lies below G. What do I mean? Let me write this down. So this is, say for example, this is your convex function, G. Tapos, sabihin natin, this is the point that we're talking about. This is your A. And say, this is your tangent line. Assuming na lang, dyan siya nag-intersect. Okay? So, ang question ko is, what is the equation of this line? Parang with what you're saying is that assuming ito yung parang y-intercept mo, so therefore, this point becomes parang some sort of your g of a for that. So, we can write our equation as g of a plus your slope times x minus a. So, parang the idea is that your m here is your slope, which we know ang slope mo is just the derivative evaluated at a. So alam na tama naman, alam natin na ang derivative of a function will always be the tangent. The derivative of a function on time will always be the velocity. So parang meron kang physics interpretation, meron ka naman geometric interpretation in terms of how we take that derivative. I think that's where sino to? Isaac Newton naging useful sa study niya ng physics and was able to invent calculus together with sadly
Abo.
kasi nag-compete feeling niya ninakaw ni Leibniz yung work niya as calculus. Alam mo yung story na yun, no?
Abo,
Between
dalawa po sila independent, about the same year yata po na, tapos na nagkaroon. I don't
That's
know pa,
right.
nagkaroon po yan. So, pero yung isipin na po si Newton, he woke up one day, tapos I'm going to invent a new field of math because current math is insufficient.
Oh, so especially in the study of celestial bodies. Naging aaral siya ng mga physics on that. And ang dami niyang nagawa eh. Parang wala siyang nagawa sa buhay niya kasi mayaman noon siya. So,
Abo,
ipag-aralan niya lahat-lahat all about physics. But I think he was at that time naging president siya ng parang British Royal Society.
abo,
And then when he accused Leibniz, ano ang first name ni Leibniz?
Gottfried.
Gottfried, no?
Abo,
Leibniz. So he accused him of kasi initially naman pinakita ni according to the nabasa kong parang history ng calculus, naipakita nga talaga ni Isaac Newton ang kanyang manuscript about the calculus. Ang mga definition siya fluxions pa nga eh to Leibniz. But Leibniz has already an idea, parang na-enhance lang, okay, much better, ito yung gagawin. Parang yun yung
abo,
yung independently nagawa niya. But sadly, yun yung accusation. Okay, anyway, sige. Mahirap yung chismis sa sciences natin. Maano yan eh. Halimbawa, isa din. Have you heard about ngayon, pangalan na. Ang naka-discover ng non-Euclidean geometry,
Einstein.
Bolyai.
Abo,
Sa Bolyai. Na parang he was able to discover na merong because of the fifth postulate, 'di ba? There are five postulates in geometry according to
yung last
Euclid.
po yung ano po, yung parallelism yata po na.
Yun yung nagka-problema, yung parallel postulate, yung fifth postulate. And then maraming mga mathematicians says na parang hindi to postulate. So it looks like a theorem that you need to prove based on the four other postulates. And Bolyai mentioned na given that this is kung depende on the how you will look at space, so na-discover niya for the non-Euclidean geometry, totoo pa rin to, pero on a certain different geometry. And at that time, he shared this finding with his father. Father niya, mathematician din. And they published together yung work as an appendix sa libro na sinulat ng father niya. And he gave Carl Friedrich Gauss a copy of his work na pinakita yung anak ko was able to show na ito yung may bagong geometry na inimbento. Alam mo yung sinabi lang ni Gauss at that time na, naisip ko na rin yan, pero hindi ko lang sinulat. So parang nung nalaman niya ni Bolyai, Janus Bolyai, yan palang first name niya. Parang na ano siya, parang because idol niya si Gauss and he thought Gauss would compliment him. Parang nawalan siya ng gana nung nalaman niya na ay hindi pala na discover na separately ni Gauss. And then and at the same time that time Lobachevsky was earlier na kapag-invento din ng same na idea na ginawa ni Bolyai. So,
Opo,
although
talaga lahat.
independent to each other. But in the end, actually, si Gauss naman was nung huli, nung sinabi niya about anong ginawa ni Janus Bolyai, parang doon, hindi niya naman sinabi directly to Bolyai, pero sabi niya, this work by this person, by Bolyai, is something promising, na, na parang genius level, na sinabi niya na it's something would revolutionize the study of geometry.
Good. Yung ba?
So kaya ayun. Kasi 'di ba ang geometry noon akala nila it's always flat. Euclidean. So they thought the earth is flat. So ganun din ang geometry, it's flat. So I think Euclid thought of the world at that time as a geometry. So it's also a flat surface and everything is it's defined on that notion. So
Opo.
pero lately we know iba-iba na maganda mo rin pag-aralan in the future. Kung may time ka na, Joshua, pag-aralan mong tinatawag na differential geometry. Kasi interesting yung mga tools na ginagamit dyan. So it's
Opo.
usually used in physics. So, pag-aralan mo siya. Kung alam mo ng differential geometry, mag-symplectic geometry ka na. Next naman sa symplectic geometry, mag-Riemannian geometry ka na. Ang daming geometry kasi.
Ano po, parang when sinabi po sa college student nga po na may quaternions, tapos sabihin na they're infinite kumbaga po na ano. So,
Tama, quaternions. By the way, mga estudyante ko sa ComSci kasi they're working on a project. Sorry, nagkwento na before natin to i-continue yung proof. Kasi they're currently working on a project particularly with using brainwaves to control yung wheelchair para at least it can move around left and right and pwede siyang umikot. So gumamit sila ng ideas ng quaternion to do the rotation. Sabi ko pwede namang silang gumamit ng mga rotation matrices kasi for me mas easy to encode siya. Pero sabi ng mga students ko kasi may mga libreng libraries na to use using quaternions to do the rotations. So they were able to do it, pero syempre yung transition from brain weights, susulat nila into some codes, dapat stable din ang codes. They were able to show it to some sa contest sa DOS. I think locally nanalo sila pero we're waiting sa national finals kung hopefully mananalo sila in that area.
opo.
Hoping lang. Yan. Since sinabi ko quaternions, so ginagamit din siya sa programming for easy access to do rotation. So anyway,
Opo.
balik tayo dito. Dami na nating sinabi, no? Pero in this case, Joshua, in this, masasabi natin from this idea na ang line mo is below the function, so masasabi mo that your function g of x is greater than or equal the line g of a plus the slope times x minus a. Okay. Suppose, ang gagawin natin, madali na lang to, we are to substitute for each a will be in x. Tapos, gagawin natin, ang a natin would be the expected value of x. Kasi anyway, ang a is a particular number. So therefore, let us assume ang number na yan is the expectation of your random variable. So e of x. So since it's a constant. So by substituting, ito mangyayari. So substitute mo ang g of x mo, magiging capital letter x na gagamitin natin, is greater than or equal to g of the expected value of x. So hindi na letter a. Tapos plus m times x minus the expected value of x. Okay. Then, what you will do, apply the expectation on both sides. So, gagawin natin, me using red. Papalitan ko lang to sa red. So meaning, kukunin mong expectation on the left, tapos kukunin mong expectation on the right. So yan. So therefore, this becomes, ang left-hand side, obviously, expected value of g of x. Okay? On the right-hand side, so distribute, di ba, ang expectation is linear. So pwede mo siyang ma-distribute this way. Expected value of g of e of x. Tapos plus, linear siya. So m times the expected value of x minus, ay, sobra ng ano pala, x minus e of x. Alright. So, can you help me simplify ang right-hand side? Una, what is the x, atong unang x, ang sum, ang ano na yan, addends na yan. What's the expected value of g of the expected value of x? Remember, it's a constant na. E of x is a constant. So g of a constant is still a constant. So what is the expected value of a constant?
0 po.
Expected value.
Yung constant yata po, or ano ba? Siya mismo yata po na.
Ano, again?
Yung the constant itself yata po.
Yes, the constant. Recall na natin dito, sulat ko sa the expected value of a constant, it's still a constant. So, sulat natin yan dito. So, therefore, the first one, ito. So, this is just the g of e of x. So, that's the first one. Next, how about the second one? Ito, ayan. Ayan. So, what is that?
Uh, mm,
The expected value of distributive naman ng ano, ang expectation values.
Apo, so the expectation of x minus the expectation of the expectation.
O yan, parang you're saying expectation of x plus expectation. Ano bang expectation? It's a constant. So isusulat mo as a constant.
So the
So what,
expectation of expectation. Oh, okay, wow. Okay. Po.
so what is the expectation of x plus c? Diyan muna tayo.
Expectation of x plus c.
Plus c. So
But
dito, anong
so
expectation
happens
dyan?
the c so happens to be e of x nga po mismo po na.
Oh, kasi e of x is already
A constant po.
constant. So therefore,
Okay.
e of x
0. Opo.
minus expectation of x. So therefore,
0 po.
0. So therefore, plus 0. So you end up with this expression na. Thus, tingnan mo, the expected value of g of x is less than, greater than or equal to g of e of x. Ayan. So that's the idea. Yan ang proof na natin. So, saan yung application nito? That's something na we are interested to look at. So, ang application niya, madali lang, kasi remember mo pa yung when we are to consider yung g of x is equal to x squared. This is a, ano, di ba? This is a parabola facing upward. So therefore, convex.
Opo.
So ang question, using this inequality, so meaning, apply mo siya sa inequality natin. So you have an expected value of g of x, which is x squared, is less than or equal to the g of the expectation, or ang expectation natin, quantity squared. Di ba?
Opo.
So, in this case, we can rewrite this inequality as the expectation of x squared minus the quantity of the expectation squared, which is greater than or equal to 0. But what is this? Ito, ano ito?
Hindi ba po meron na po yan? Yung
Ano
mismo po na,
yan?
no, kasi I forgot. Yung mismo po na, ah, o nga na, ito mismo po yung ano ba, variance.
Variance. That's correct. This is the variance of x. So this shows, parang proof ito, that the variance will always be greater than or equal to zero. Never siya maging negative. So
And
meaning,
it makes sense po
yung,
na, pero parang how do you prove na it's not, wala talagang 100% sure po na greater than equal to zero po na.
di ba, wala naman tayong may sinasabi eh. Pero ang alam natin, ang variance, di ba ang formula niya, for discrete lang it's the summation of your x times the probability, sorry, mali yan. That's the mean. So this is the x, sorry. This is x minus the expected value of x, quantity squared, f of x, where your x is from kung ano yung ano mo, kung ano yung sample na you are running through. So, but in this case, this is already positive, yung sum. Kasi ang squaring makes you positive, ang probability is positive, add them together will always be positive. But this is another way of explaining bakit it's always positive because of the convexity of your x squared. So, yun lang naman. Actually, that's one way to show it. Na it's always positive. Okay?
Na ba?
Ayun. So, for now, Joshua, I think dito lang muna tayo mag-e-end ng discussion natin. Will that be okay? By next meeting on Thursday, let's talk about moments and moment generating functions.
Meron ba pong meaning pala po yan, yung moment? Kasi kahit sa physics po, tsaka ano, may moment of something, tsaka sa ano po sa may dipole moment sa chemistry. Meron ba pong meaning yan?
Alam natin ang moment sa physics, it always has to be with momentum. 'Di ba? Ang momentum normally it's parang a substitution with velocity. Kasi sometimes some um, mechanics books gumagamit sila ng velocity as a term for the speed. Pero if you consider now the mass, kung may mass na siya at nagmo-move na yung object, either a particle or an object moves with a mass, so kaya gumagamit na sila ng momentum. So that's the mass times the velocity, yung momentum. Kaya sometimes they call it moment. Pero I don't know with chemistry kasi parang hindi ako
Yan
na
po, meron ba po siyang link? Kumaga po, do they all have some root meaning po na yung moment?
Ah, kasi so ito, let me write the moment, generate ang moment, meaning ng moment sa ano, sa, isulat ko na lang, para at least ito, sulat ko, moments, I think next page na, para at least ito yung magiging ano natin, parang introduction next meeting. Let me add additional page. Okay. Ay, mahaba na palang page na to. Moments, ay, wait. Moments and moment generating function. Generating function. Oops, generating function. Oops, generating function.
Generating junction mo.
Okay, so itong meaning ng moment. So ito lang siya. Moment or the art moment. Weird na ano, no? Art moment is just the expectation of x raised to r. Parang power. Pero ang power mo dito is it's an integer power. So meaning, this is just, kung dalawa yan, kung, kung discrete ang variable mo, summation of x raised to the r of f of x, or integral of x raised to the r f of x dx. Okay? So yan ang definition ng moment. And sometimes they use the term, yung notation niya, mu prime of sub r. So yan ang notation na ginagamit. Okay? Tapos yung moment generating function naman, Ito yung moment generating function. Ay, pakita ko anong usefulness ng moment generating function para ma-appreciate mo. Generating function. A moment generating function naman is defined as m of t. Let me write it here. M of t is equal to e of e raised to tx. Okay, so meaning what we're saying is that a moment generating function look like this. Ang random variable mo, na-exponentiate mo siya. So, integral of e raised to tx f of x dx. Okay. So, bakit? Bakit siya bakit ang daming tool na ini-introduce sa 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 statistics, sa probability. And again, the purpose is to make the computations faster. Okay, bakit? So, ito yung concept. Because if you take the rth derivative ng moment generating function mo, okay? So, kung kukunin mong derivative na yan at i-evaluate mo to 0, this is just your rth moment. Okay? And useful ito when you are to compute for your mean and variance. Di ba? If you compute for the mean, ayan, dagdag ako ng additional page. Ano bang yung formula ng mean? Di ba? Ang mean mo, all you need is your expected value of x. For the variance, di ba? This is the var of x. Pero the var of x is just the second moment minus the square of this. Di ba?
Opo.
Naalala mo pang binomial mo na computations natin?
Opo. Yung ano po.
So if, define natin dito, let x be a binomial random variable. Tapos ang iyong distribution is just ang binomial natin, may dalawang parameters. Define ko lang dito. May n ka, n number of trials. Tapos probability of success is just n choose x. P raised to x. And then 1 minus p or q raised to n minus x. Okay. Di ba naalala mo paano nga natin to kinompute? May intuition ka na shinare last time eh. When you compute for the expected value of x, di ba, kung n number of trials, tapos may p successes ka, so by intuition, since independent sila altogether, so that's just n times p. Tapos if you take the variance, parang hindi to natin kinompute right away, but this is just n times p times q. Pero yung variance yung pinakamahirap to do the computation. But with the moment generating function, mabilis to i-compute. So, halimbawa, pakita natin. So first, let's compute for the expected value of x. Sabi dito, if you take the first derivative, halimbawa, if you take the first derivative of your moment generating function and evaluate it to 0, this is just your expected value of x. So, let's compute muna ang moment generating function ng binomial mo. Okay, first. So, the moment generating function of your random variable x, e of e raised to tx. This is just your summation of n choose x. Tapos e raised to tx p raised to x q n minus x. Diba? When your n is from 0, when your x is from 0 to n. I want you to compute for the first derivative. Gagamitin ko yung prime na lang of your moment generating function. So anong derivative dito with respect to t? T
Summation
yung
pa na po from 0 to n po na. Kasi mag-preserve pa rin po yan na.
pero remember yung variable mo dito is only t na kukunan mo ng derivative.
Opo.
So what is the derivative?
Mm, uh, x, yung lahat po times x minus, ano ba? Ay, times x po na. Tapos t, ah, wait na ba? E to the ano po na, as in yung x, yung ano po na, yung
Ay,
Euler.
by the way, I forgot. May simplification pala tayo gagawin para mas mabilis. Hindi ko pala siya na-simplify. Let me erase this muna bago tayo magde-derivative. Kasi ito, pwede pa ito masisimplify. You can, di ba raise to x lang, may ang e raise to tx mo at ang px raise to x lahat, di ba?
Opo.
So therefore, kung sasama natin yan as 1, so this is p e raised to t raised to x q n minus x. Di ba yan ang itsura?
Opo.
This is a binomial uh, expression. So ano yung parang formula sa binomial theorem that results to a nicer formula for the summation? Para mawala na natin yung summation.
Mm,
So, isulat ko dito ang binomial formula sa left. X plus y raised to n is just the summation of n choose r, x raised to r, y raised to n minus r, where your r is from 0 to n.
ayun, yun na po, mismo.
So
So,
therefore,
when r is x, so, ano po na? Oh, wait lang.
magiging,
So x is p e plus q.
ayan, plus q raised to n. So this time, ito na. Dito tayo
Opo.
mag-compute. So take the derivative of your moment generating function. So dito ka na magde-derivative. Mas mabilis ng derivative nito.
Magkakaroon ba po ng and dt?
Chain rule, pwede.
Sige po, so, n times, everything po, p e to the t plus q to the n minus 1, tapos
Times.
times t e, tama ba? T
Tama.
e t po na. T p e to the
Okay.
t.
Ayan. So, plus 0. Kasi 0 na rin si Q.
Tama.
Tapos gagawin mo, evaluate this t to equal to 0. Anong matitira? So, that will be your
1,
expected
1,
value of x.
n times 1 plus q to the n minus 1 times p. Yun ba?
Pero what is p plus q?
P plus q is 1.
So, therefore, anong matitira?
NP.
Ayan. Di ba?
Oh,
Ang bilis.
wow. Ha? Ano?
So, so that's the first one.
That's it po, that's it.
Oh, wala, ito next. Tapusin na lang natin. So that's the first derivative. How about the second derivative nito? So kunin mo yung second derivative ng moment generating function mo.
Okay, well, that's n times n minus 1 times yung nasa loob po
Right.
p,
Okay.
p, e plus.
N times, sorry, sulat ko muna. Pwede natin i-separate ang NP para at least ang ito, ang N and P. Anyway, wala naman siyang ano. Tapos kunin mong derivative yung natira. So, N times N minus 1.
P, e, t plus q to the n minus 2,
Tapos,
e to the t. Diba?
okay. Tapos plus,
Plus, ano po na, wait lang mo. So na ba yung
pinalabas
product
lang
na,
natin P, NP.
taklo na. So, P-E-T, wait. Yes, opo. P-E-T times yung yung original and minus 1 po. Yun.
Okay, tama. Ayun. So, parang in other words, parang wala may nangyari sa pangalawa. Okay. Ay, wala ng P, no? Remove natin P kasi pinalabas na natin. So therefore, erase to T na lang yan.
Ayun
Okay.
na po.
Ayan. Tapos again, evaluate when T is equal to 0. Ito naman yung magiging of x squared. So, anong matitira?
NP n minus 1 ay bracket open n minus 1 close open quantity of
Okay, n
P
minus
plus Q
1.
ulit. So that's just 1. 1 lang po yun. E to the T 1 din po. So plus 1 din times 1. Yun po, 1.
Yan. Okay, tama?
No po.
Ayan. So that is your second moment. But again, ang variance of x is just equal to the expectation of x squared minus the expectation of x quantity squared. So therefore, combine natin yung
Ah,
dalawang result.
okay,
And
so
p,
NP times N. Pwede na pong N squared P na lang po na.
n squared, p squared. Ayan. So therefore,
N
can you
squared
simplify?
P, N squared,
np,
N squared, N, ano pala pa na? So pwede NP times times P minus, 1 minus P pala. 1 minus P. Kasi may extra ba? 1 minus P po na.
dali lang ha, medyo na-confused ako sa, okay, okay. So, may NP ka, take common factor NP,
Tama, kasi
tapos
N
N
squared,
minus 1.
N, wait lang ba? Di ba po N squared dapat yung ano?
Ang
Hmm.
saan? N squared po, no?
Wala
Dito.
pala N squared yata po yung common factor.
Let me see. Baka may na-miss tayo sa una. 0, 1, tama.
Or
Ang
baka
pangalawa,
may sobra pong N.
sobrang N. So, this would be N1 plus, okay. So, therefore, this one, N squared P ba yan?
Tama.
Okay. So, therefore, medyo i-delete lang natin to. Let me simplify, Ayan. Okay. So, ang labas dito, this is N squared P minus N squared P squared, no?
Ayun,
So,
ako.
you end up
Lalabas
with
na.
NP times P minus NP ba?
N minus NP mo.
N minus NP. Ay, dalawang N squared.
Pwede pong N squared P siguro po.
Parang may mali. Dapat kasi magiging
Dapat
result
NPQ po na. NP
NPQ.
times 1 minus P.
Double check natin yung ano natin, double derivative. Double derivative. So N,
Okay. So may na ano po yata na sobrahan yung N. Mawawala,
ah,
mawala po yung N dapat. Yung sa
hindi
una.
tayo ng ano ng may nalimutan tayo sa dito. Ito. If you go back to this one, 'di ba kukunin mo ang second derivative mag multiplication rule pero hindi tayo nakapag chain rule dito.
Opo. So,
So dapat
bali,
may chain rule pa 'yan.
opo.
So may dadagdag tayo na PET. Tama?
Opo.
Tama. Yun ang kulang.
Yung sa second po wala.
Oo. So therefore, let me erase this.
Ayun. So, NP, ano yata? Sana? P,
NP
N
times
times N minus 1
P, no?
P
P
pala. Opo. Plus 1.
plus 1.
So, that would be,
So, erase natin to.
that's NP times,
NP times
plus
N minus 1 P plus 1 minus N squared P squared. So, common factor
NP.
NP. So, therefore, you end up with N minus 1P plus 1 minus NP. Yan na. Meron na tayo.
Yun po.
So,
So,
magiging
NP mawala po yung una.
ang
So,
NP minus P plus 1 minus
yun. Yun na po.
NP. Yan na.
It's the line that's been reached. So, 1 minus P equals
Ay,
NPQ po.
that's right. So, yun. So, much quicker ang pagko-compute ng mga derivatives dito because of the moment generating function. So, pwede mo nang gagawin ng mga computation sa paghahanap ng iyong variance and ang inyong mean. Na can you also ito bibigay ko to na assignment for next meeting. Naalala mo yung exponential distribution sa na ba 'yon? Exponential. Palagi natin siya ginagamit as an example eh. Exponential, where are you? Ito. Ayan. So, let me copy this. Ito yung exponential distribution, so from 0 to 1. So, let me, sorry. So, assignment. Let me use red na lang. Exercise na lang. Exercise. Let X be the exponential distribution or V such that f of x is equal to lambda of e raised to minus lambda x, where your x is a random variable from 0 to positive infinity. So question, compute for e of x, find and the variance of x. At gagamitin mo dito moment generating function ha.
Nga ba?
So I'll send the copy of this lecture, then show to me the expectations and the variance using the moment generating function. So for now, ito lang muna lesson natin sa ngayon. Joshua?
Apo.
So any questions?
Wala na po.
Sige. So sir, yun lang muna sa ngayon. So I'll see the two of you on Thursday.
Thank you po.
Okay po.
All
Sige
right. Ingat. So I'll send right
po.
away after this. Okay. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye po.